streaming live, tackling the topics everyone's talking about online. Share, engage, interact. This is Newsfeed Now.
Hey, good Wednesday to you. Welcome into Newsfeed Now. So let's say you're a first-timer to our program and you want to know what we're all about. Well, here's the deal. We don't have the time for your normal news. And I say that as a host of a news program each and every morning. But sometimes you just want the water cooler talk, or the chats you can have drinking a beer with a buddy or a mimosa with a fellow mama. This is the program for you because we're giving you 20 minutes, 4 stories that you can talk about everywhere you go around the South. Let's start with a random act of kindness in Arkansas that's being felt across the United States. In fact, this story was featured this morning on the early Today Show on NBC. An unknown person walks into a grocery store and gives the manager his credit card. Not for his own groceries, but for those of complete strangers. Hillary Hunt joins us from the Natural State.
Picking up groceries can be pricey.
It can vary from like $20 up to $700.
Especially when on a budget.
Hey, I don't have this amount, let's put this back.
But while customers were shuffling for their cash or card Sunday at this Maumelle Kroger,
I was just in shock. I mean, is this really happening? What's going on?
A man was on a mission.
I was a little suspicious at first.
To pay it forward anonymously.
Not every day you get somebody that comes in and tells you that they want to spend up to $1,000 and just bless people by taking care of their groceries.
So as people were filling their carts, a stranger behind the scenes was looking to fill their hearts.
You could see them tear up because they were just so happy.
On the receiving end of that generosity,
just meals to cook Alfredo.
Rachel Juliet, a mom of 3 with a receipt a mile long.
And I was like, are you serious? This has never happened to me before. Plus I have my daughter, and I was like, I'm so grateful.
The gesture lighting a fire in the hearts of not only Rachel,
just take a few minutes and maybe just make their day,
but all who witnessed the random act of kindness.
Take this as an example. Step out a little bit. See what you can do to help other people's lives.
Hillary joins us now from the capital city of Arkansas in Little Rock. Hillary, good afternoon. When you get a story like this, I'm interested to your first thoughts. Before you even pitch it to the bosses, before you even go to that city and start telling the story, what do you do in your research to kind of get you right for a story that is so uplifting?
Well, the first thing I had to do is I had to find someone who actually got their groceries paid for. Because I just think that's a huge part of the story. But what all happened was it kind of all unfolded on Facebook. One of the cashiers who was handed the man's Amex posted about it and was like, you guys will never believe what happened at my work today. You hear about it online, but it actually happened at our Kroger. And then I was scrolling through her likes. I was like, come on, someone has to comment, like, my groceries were paid for. And then I found the woman who you guys heard from in the story, the mom of 3 who got her groceries paid for. And then, of course, I was like, I got to speak to the manager. Because, when someone walks up to you, is like, I'm going to hand you my credit card and you can spend $1,000, you're a little wary. And even the manager was like, I called his credit card company to make sure it was actually his credit card. He's like,
tell me a little bit about what you know about this anonymous guy. I mean, is it just a credit card and let's charge up as many groceries for as many people as possible?
Yeah, so literally the manager said the man walked in, he has never seen him before. The guy asked to remain anonymous. He said he just wanted to sit and hide in the background and watch people's reactions. And he said, here's my Amex. I've been blessed in my life. I saw a YouTube video about paying it forward, and I want to do that today. Here's my card. Spend $1,000. Pick out whoever you think really needs it the most.
Well, I love reading these stories as I watch them. And the last person of your story is a Kroger cashier. It says, take this as an example to step out a little bit. That's kind of what paying it forward is all about. It seems like this little act of kindness, which, really is a big act of kindness, but it's spreading very quickly there in Central Arkansas.
Yes, it's very true. So everyone I spoke with, that was a piece of the story, said that they have done something to pay it forward. For instance, the mom, she said right after she got her groceries paid for, she went over to the gas pump at Kroger, used all the points, all of her Kroger points, and paid for some woman's gas.
Mm-hmm. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and she said, and the mom was telling me, she goes, even if it's just buying someone, a drink behind you in line, or just, telling someone hello and I got you like a cookie. She said that, it can change someone's day and really create this chain effect. And that's what the anonymous man ultimately wanted to do. He wanted to create a chain effect, no matter how big or small. And I think that's the message that a lot of people got. Everyone who witnessed it said that they were touched by it and did something for someone else.
All right, Hillary, thank you so much. Appreciate you taking the time. You know, that's really what it's all about. That guy had $1,000 to spend. Maybe you have 10 bucks, 100 bucks. Maybe you just have $1. Just do something and do it with a reason. Do it for a purpose. Do it to make a difference. That's really what's going to make us all happier, better, make this country exactly what it was meant to be. All right, so I sent my firstborn off to elementary school this week. Surprisingly, I did not cry like a baby, although my buddy Pat over here will say that I probably should have cried like a baby, or at least he was betting that I would. But I did start to worry, and this is like day 2 of this journey, and I'm worrying a lot. She's about to embark on a journey that will teach her a lot. The good, there's a lot of good. She's going to learn a lot. But it comes with the bad. Steve, what happens when that first person cusses? I mean, what do I tell her? What if she's in the middle of the day and she just needs me? But then there's that big one, bullying. It's always been a part of life. I mean, I remember when I was physically bullied in elementary school. But now it seems social media has made it easier. That is until an 11-year-old in Alabama put her hope into action. She wants to stop bullying one word at a time. She literally wrote a book. Here's Blake Brown.
An 11-year-old girl trying to make a difference in her school with a new book she's written titled The Bully Fighter.
A boy named James figures out that he doesn't have to be mean to protect himself from a bully. All he has to do is just ignore the bully and tell someone he trusts.
Addison Bates says she's witnessed bullying firsthand, and since she loves to write, she knew this book would serve a greater purpose and help those who need it.
I wanted to write it because bullying was a problem within our school system, and I wanted to have a chance to change that.
Addison says since the book's been published, she's already seen it making a difference around her school.
I've seen just a little bit of change out of people from this book, and that's all I need.
She says she hopes her message continues impacting victims of bullying and even the bullies themselves, hoping one day kids can grow up without the hate.
The only attention I really want is to spread the message of being kind to others and to stop the bullying.
If you'd like to purchase a copy of The Bully Fighter, you can find a link to Addison's website by going to our website. Just look for this story on WKRG.com. For now, reporting in Jackson, I'm Blake Brown, WKRG News 5.
Great story. Fantastic there. I want to read something. Right now, according to StopBullying.gov, between 1 in 4 and 1 in 3 U.S. students say they have been bullied at school. Also, there's cyberbullying that takes into account there. Blake joins us now. Blake, this is something that is so prevalent in our society. It is so prevalent where we are today. This girl, what was her hope? What does she hope comes of this book as people read the pages?
She's hoping for change. Obviously, that's very broad, but she's just hoping that victims of bullying will read this. She's hoping that bullies themselves will read this. Hopefully somewhere there will be change, not just in her school, but she's hoping the message spreads to other schools, just for kids to stop bullying, to stop the hate, and just to love one another.
So when was the book written? How many has she sold?
She has sold, I want to say she's only sold 12 copies so far. She wrote this end of last year, beginning of this year. She just got them all printed, just got her website up, so she's trying to be proactive and spreading the message, trying to spread the word. And I believe actually her school is starting to put these in the library as well, so of course kind of giving kids more availability to get their hands on it.
It is, it's no doubt something special to see students kind of take these problems that they're having in their own hands and find a solution. Folks there in Alabama, how are they responding on Facebook and social media?
They're excited. They think this is great. Obviously, once they find out the story, you know that the girl was bullied herself back in a couple years ago, back in school. They kind of, grasp onto that a little bit. She's being proactive about it. She's really not letting it get her down, really letting it affect her too much. She's just wanting to kind of open her arms and let other people know that, others have the same problem that they're facing now, that she's been through that as well. And again, trying to put her words out there so people can see them.
Yeah, without a doubt. Blake, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Got a picture right here of that front That cover here of the Bully Fighter written by Addison Bates. Very cool there. Let's stay in Alabama. A boy is going viral for giving a helping hand on his birthday. Talking about Birmingham. He was celebrating his birthday by helping others during Monday's dangerous heat wave. Nathaniel used his birthday money to buy water and a cooler to help hydrate those who need a cool down. A Facebook post encouraged people to act more like Nathaniel as the heat continues to sweep the South. Phil joins us now from Birmingham. Phil, obviously a pretty cool story here. We're talking a lot today about folks helping others. Now another kid going the extra mile to help folks out. What was the response like from those that he was helping?
Everybody seemed pretty grateful. I think everybody was surprised to see somebody so young want to give back, especially on a day that's typically about yourself. People were very thankful, and it kind of inspired a lot of other people to start getting their own hydration stations set up around the city. The mayor called for more hydration stations, and everybody sort of just helped out yesterday. And we're going to see probably continued help throughout this week as it continues to stay so hot.
How old did this boy turn?
It was his 9th birthday on Monday.
9th birthday. Wise beyond his years, without a doubt. How much water was he able to give out?
It had to be at least a couple cases. We saw, the bucket that he bought, handed out was full. It had to be, I'd say roughly, probably close to 2 cases of water, so around 50 maybe. And, people were probably very thankful for that.
What's the response been like on Facebook?
Crazy. I mean, even just on our post alone, people were like, oh, we saw him, we thanked him, and this is sort of, we heard from other parents and families that said that they were setting it up in their own neighborhood and trying to help out, and that Nathaniel kind of inspired them. So I think just seeing that one Facebook post on Be a Blessing Birmingham really sparked this thing across the city to just try to help everybody.
Good stuff, Phil. Thank you so much. Very cool to see that 9-year-old boy do that on his birthday. The oldest living woman in Oklahoma is turning 110 later this month. She's actually only a little bit younger than the state of Oklahoma itself, which gained their statehood in 1907. Ethel Bowens has lived through the Titanic, the Great Depression, 2 world wars, and the Dust Bowl, and she's not done. She's seen a lot, lived a lot, to say the least. After all that time, she's got a lot to say about the secrets of longevity. Lacey Lett has the story.
Yeah, I'm happy to be alive.
Ethel Bowens can tell you a few things about life.
Huh?
She's a little hard of hearing at almost 110 years old. Ethel was born in Guthrie just 2 years after statehood. The family lineage goes back before statehood to the land run of 1889. She and her husband Volna would later work on a 160-acre farm there.
Chickens, ducks, geese, turkeys, everything. That's me and my husband.
It took the couple 17 years before Ethel and her husband had their first of 6 children.
We got started and couldn't stop.
Their last children were twins, born in 1953. Ethel had a heart attack when she had them. Since then, though, Ethel's family has gotten big. Really big.
I don't know. I can't count them.
6 children, 29 grandchildren, 54 great-grandchildren, 46 great-great-grandchildren, with more on the way. And as many that can will be at her big birthday celebration this year, marking a major milestone. Her secret to this long life is romantic.
Had one man.
A school bus driver, farmer, and love of Ethel's life, married more than 60 years.
You had to be a good man to stay with me.
Other keys to longevity: no smoking, no drinking, and a faith in God.
And see, she tells us that all the time. She said, that's your lifeline.
And for those half her age who complain about waking up in the morning,
I just think they're lazy, don't want to get up.
Miss Ethel, my goodness, 110? You got to be kidding me. She didn't look a day over, Steve, what, 80? Yep. 70? She looks great. In case you weren't counting the pictures, Ethel has well over 100 family members in that immediate family. Fantastic story. That's all the time we have for Newsfeed Now. Make sure you join us tomorrow. You can also join along on all the discussions that we have. Follow me at Aaron Nolan News on all social media accounts. We'll see you back here on a Thursday.